Tonight, we're going somewhere even astronauts never see, down into the ocean trenches, the deepest, least explored places on our planet. Beneath the abyss, entering the Hadal zone. Imagine standing on the edge of a canyon so deep you could drop Mount Everest inside it and still have room to spare. Now flood that canyon with freezing seawater, switch off the sun, and crush everything under pressures greater than 1,000 times what you feel at sea level. That's an ocean trench, and together they form the Hadal zone, the deepest realm of the sea. Scientists define the Hadal zone as depths from roughly 6,000 to 11,000 meters beneath the surface, found almost entirely inside long, narrow, V-shaped depressions we call oceanic trenches. These trenches carve scars into the seafloor in every major ocean basin, but the deepest cluster around the Pacific Ring of Fire, the same belt of volcanoes and mega-earthquakes that wraps the Pacific Rim. At their absolute limit lies the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, plunging close to 11,000 meters, approximately 36,000 feet below sea level, the deepest known point on Earth. Up here, on continents and coasts, we pretend we know our planet. Down there, in those trenches, we've barely started to look. How trenches are born. Planetary scars from moving plates. To understand why trenches exist, we have to zoom out and watch the whole planet breathe. Earth's surface is broken into giant tectonic plates, slabs of rock, that creep around at roughly the speed your fingernails grow. Where two plates converge and one is forced beneath the other, we get a subduction zone. Old, dense oceanic crust bends downward and sinks back into the mantle. Along that bending line, the seafloor folds into a long, narrow trench. Key traits of ocean trenches. They are narrow and elongated, often thousands of kilometers long, but only tens of kilometers wide. Their sidewalls can be steeper than many mountain slopes on land. They reach depths of greater than 6,000 meters, with the deepest points approaching 11 kilometers. Most of the deepest trenches, Mariana, Tonga, Kermadec, Japan, Izu Ogasawara, Kuril-Kamchatka, line the Pacific. Here, denser plates are constantly diving beneath lighter ones, dragging down the seafloor and releasing titanic energy in the form of earthquakes and volcanic arcs. To a geologist, a trench is where the planet recycles its skin. To everyone else, it's where the map stops. Life in the Hadal zone. Soft bones, strange chemistry. If you dropped a typical fish into a trench, its proteins would denature, its cell membranes would fail, and its gas-filled organs would implode. But Hadal creatures are not typical. One family in particular dominates: snail fish. They look fragile, gelatinous bodies, pale skin, almost no scales, yet they hold the record for the deepest living fish ever observed. Expeditions have filmed snailfish at depths exceeding 8,000 meters in trenches like the Mariana, Japan, and Izu Ogasawara, with one described species, Pseudoliparis swirae, recorded around 8,076 meters. Inside these fish, biology rewrites the rulebook. Their cells carry unusually high levels of TMAO, trimethylamine N-oxide, a molecule that helps stabilize proteins under extreme pressure. Their cartilage and bones are modified to stay flexible instead of rigid. Their vision genes are reduced. Some have lost pigmentation and color vision entirely. Around them, swarms of amphipods, shrimp-like scavengers, patrol the sediment, along with giant cucumber-like holothurians, delicate sea cucumbers, and enormous single-celled organisms called xenophyophores, which can grow as large as dinner plates and carpet the trench slopes. Microscopic life thrives too. Recent studies of Hadal fish microbiomes show unique bacterial communities adapted to pressure, often distinct between trenches, suggesting that each trench is its own isolated world with its own evolutionary experiments. To us, these animals look ghostly, half-finished, or broken. In reality, they are perfectly tuned machines for a world of crushing weight and endless night. Humans at the bottom, Trieste, Cameron, and the Five Deeps. For most of history, ocean trenches were myth, lines on a depth chart, not places a human could imagine visiting. That changed in 1960 when the bathyscaphe Trieste, piloted by Jacques Picard and Don Walsh, descended into the Challenger Deep. Windows creaked, the outer shell groaned, and at nearly 11 kilometers down, they saw the seafloor. Pale sediment, shrimp-like creatures, and darkness pressing in on every side. And it was the first time humans had reached the deepest known point on Earth. For over 50 years, no one went back. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron made a solo dive in the deep-sea Challenger submersible. Another brief human footprint at the trench bottom, bringing back footage and sediment samples. Then, in 2018 to 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo and his team launched the most ambitious trench program in history, the Five Deeps expedition. Using the DSV limiting factor, a titanium-hulled sub rated for full ocean depth, they reached the deepest point of all 5 oceans, made multiple dives into the Challenger Deep and the nearby Serena, explored trenches like the South Sandwich, Java, and others with a mix of crewed dives and robotic landers. Those missions didn't just set records, they mapped previously unknown parts of the trench axes, collected high-resolution bathymetry, and filmed Hadal life in places no one had ever seen. To reach the Hadal zone, you need a machine that can stare down 11,000 meters of water and not blink. Full ocean depth subs share a few critical features: a small pressure sphere made of thick titanium or special steel, often only 1 to 2 meters across, where the pilot and instruments sit, buoyancy materials like syntactic foam that resist compression, batteries and thrusters mounted outside, built to function in near-freezing high-pressure brine, redundant life support systems, and emergency ascent options. The pressure at the deepest trenches can exceed 1,100 bar, equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets stacked on your shoulders. Every bolt, cable, and seal is a potential point of failure. Next time you look at a globe, remember, the deepest, strangest places on this planet are not on mountaintops or deserts, but in black canyons of seawater miles beneath passing ships. If you want to keep descending into those unseen frontiers, from Hadal fish and vent worms to the machines that take us there, subscribe to Discovering the Unknown.